Greetings, Rich Olivon here today, and I'd like to welcome you to this first of its kind Undeniably Jamaican Special. Why am I doing this? Well, I kind of want to keep the Undeniably Jamaican name going while I decide on who next to interview. I have a few people in mind, but I'm currently working on a documentary that's taking up most of my filming time. So that goes first, and then maybe after that, if I don't decide to jump to my next documentary project, I'll circle back and do a couple more interviews for this series. But until then, we're going to do a little bit of these specials as I have time in the editing process. Sometimes you get lulls and highs and lows. So right now I'm on a little bit of a editing break until I can do some location shooting. And after that, it's back to the lab and editing and finishing up this documentary I've been working on. But I wanted to do this special on Jamaicans and video games because, well, number one, as if you've been watching this series, you know I'm a Jamaican. It's my culture, it's my heritage, it's where my family's from. And maybe you don't know this about me, but I love video games. I've been a video game fan of video games since 1987 when I got the Sega Master System. I'm a Sega kid. So you don't bring that Mario stuff around me, man. I ain't playing it. bring me some Alex Kidd, some Space Harrier, Fancy Zone, Here's some Sega titles. But so I just wanted to do this special because, over the years we've seen Jamaicans in video games. Some depictions have been, really okay. Some have been terrible. Some have been like, let's just forget about it. So I want to kind of start this off by saying, I'm not being paid by the makers of any of these games, actually. No one in this thing is paying me. I'm doing this out of my own pocket and time and energy and love, love for my culture and video games. So anyway, the first Jamaican I saw in a video game, like explicitly Jamaican character, was DJ from Super Street Fighter. He's in the Street Fighter game that introduced us to Cammy, Fei Long, T-Hawk, I believe, were the other characters introduced in that game. And DJ was the Jamaican guy. I remember seeing the little map on the with the flag. It was either GamePro, EGM, or Sega Visions. And I was like, wait, whoa, Jamaica in a Street Fighter? This is going to be amazing. I can't wait. We're going to go to Jamaica and fight in Street Fighter. It's going to be amazing. Oh my God. And then, well, we got DJ. I finally saw DJ. He had the big goofy grin on his face. Very one-dimensional character. Some would say kind of, a little minstrelish. Very, very one-dimensional, and it's kind of been seen outside of in certain cultures how they depict Jamaicans in a way. So I'm not bashing Capcom or anyone for the game. I like DJ as a fighter, in Street Fighter. I like him. I'll still play as him right now in the Ultra Street Fighter, though. Don't get me wrong. But he's a bit of a joke kind of character, and that kind of creates a kind of if that's what people, introduce to Jamaicans through video games, they might, think we're all like jokey something. And that's not the case. But, so DJ was the first one we saw in a game, but he's rather one-dimensional guy, shaking maracas. That stage he was at, the first stage in Ultra Street Fighter, he's at honestly, true to story though, true to life. It looks like one of them all-inclusive hotels where, Americans go and they never leave. They just go and sit there and drink and whatever, never see the island. So I think that is okay because DJ is probably a performer in one of he might work for the hotel maybe, some brother just work for the hotel. That's a different way to think about DJ too. But anyway, so before I go on a psychoanalysis of DJ, he was the first guy the first Jamaican character, explicitly Jamaican character we got in video games. After DJ, I would think it's probably the Yardies from Grand Theft Auto. And I believe they are in the top-down games as well. There's a Yardie. I believe it was on the top-down games as well. I'm doing this from memory as I think of the old game when I used to play it on my old computer. I believe it was the IBM Activa. Yes, it was the IBM Activa we had that game for. We booted it up on that computer. Yeah. Man, that's so long ago. But anyway, I think there was Yardis in that game. I may be mistaken. Because I know there was Hare Krishnas in them and the top-down game. And that was, when we were first introduced to Grand Theft Auto. But the game that I want to more call into this would probably be Grand Theft Auto 3. Because I think that's when the series exploded. When you were like 3D and you could go around and, you're like in the city, like you can at street level shooting people and picking up hookers and all that stuff. That game blew up the series. If they never made that game, I don't think Grand Theft Auto would be anywhere near where it is today. But yeah, let's talk about that now. So you got to meet, not meet, but you got to do a couple missions for the Yardis. You got to meet King Courtney. Well, you didn't meet him. You spoke to him on the phone. Excuse me. You spoke to King Courtney on the phone and he gave you missions. So man, I was like hype. I'm like, what? You gonna play with the Jamaicans? I'm like, dude, we are gonna take over. We are running this map. Ain't nobody gonna stop us. We're gonna run it tough. And then at the end of King Courtney's missions, all of a sudden, he double crosses you. And you have to, shoot the Jamaicans who come to kill you in order to survive. And like at that point I was like, you know what? I ain't doing this. I'm done with this game. I'm done with GTA 3. I'm finished. I ain't killing my fellow Jamaicans in this game. No. I mean, it's a game about criminals. They're scumbags. So nowadays in hindsight, I was a little bit too zealous about it, but straight. Even to this day, I haven't touched a GTA game since actually the debacle of Vice City, where it said on the screen straight up, "Kill all the Haitians." Like, that's just a bit much for me. I'm like, I'm not killing all the Haitians. What are you, crazy? This is ridiculous. But whatever. I ain't harping on GTA, but yeah, I've never played a game since then because I just was, yeah, that took me out of the game. I ain't gonna lie about that. But after that, we got, there was GTA 4. I didn't play it, but I watched my friend play that game. And you got to meet real Batman. Like, that's the thing about these. Like, the characters, they were really cool characters that, like, really fit that gangster, outlaw, theme of Grand Theft Auto. But come on. It's a ridiculous thing. Hey, brother, my name real Batman. Me I go take you out. Like, what is this? Like, what shatter is going to call himself real Batman? You is a bad man, must be real. It's just ridiculous. But, Rockstar, I don't know where they're from. But, I don't know where they made that game. I know they have a studio in San Diego. Maybe they made this one in Canada or Scotland. I don't know. But ain't no Jamaican gangster gonna call himself real Batman. That he might say, yes, I'm a real Batman. But he's not gonna say, me name real Batman. Or who you? No, it's not gonna happen. But you also had, Little Jacob in that. That sounded a little bit more alright. Little Jacob. That sounded okay. But real Batman? That's typical, that's like Steven Seagal nonsense, from that Marked for Death movie with Screwface and all that foolishness, So that's also, we could get into movies, but we're not getting into movies, we're getting into games. But yeah, so that's what you kind of got from the Grand Theft Auto series when it came to Jamaican characters. Criminals, kind of, double crosses, scumbags. But the game is about criminals and scumbags, so I kind of expect it. Let's not beat up on them too much. So after that, there's a studio from Sweden. They're Swedish, and they're called Sky Goblin, and they made a pretty cool series. There's a pretty cool point-and-click adventure series called The Journey Down. And he plays this guy Buana. It has a nice Afro-Caribbean vibe to it. It kind of mixes, like you get a little, it's not Jamaican, but you get a flavor of the Caribbean, and a flavor of Africa with excellent music. The game has excellent music, It's like a real great mashup of the Afro-Caribbean, cultures. Especially, as is seen by, outsiders, let's say. But that's not a knock against the developers at Sky Goblin. They did an excellent job with the game, and they held the characters in high esteem and with the utmost care. And I just have to give them props for that. They didn't make them into jokey. I mean, it's a jokey game. It's a fun game. If you haven't played The Journey Down, I suggest you play all 3 parts. It's an excellent story, excellent game, a lot of fun. But it's not the usual. It's not the GTA nonsense or the DJ smiling, affable character. It's not that. It's its own thing, and it's awesome. I enjoyed The Journey Down. If anything, you definitely check out that game. That game was amazing. So after that, I'm gonna have to circle back to another game because you made this guy Winston, and he the scene in the game I'm remembering is when he's there talking like, yes, I want to find this treasure to get a Hummer like Arnold drive in Hollywood. It's really bad. It's really bad, the accent. And it's here. It's not I don't know if it's locks, but it looked like, the tourist hat with the dreadlocks that for some reason tourists like to wear. I don't know why, who would put something like that on their head, but that's something tourists do. But yeah, that guy, he was a big joke of a character. But playing the game Corpse Killer and seeing Winston there as a joke as he was, it's kind of nice to see somewhat of your culture reflected in a game, in a medium that you play. It's nice to see. So after that, we spoke about The Journey Down. So another game that kind of has the same vibe, like culturally, would probably be Orion, Legacy of the Coriodan. The game was made by Kirio. I'm probably butchering that name, but Kirio Games out of Cameroon. And it's an excellent action RPG game. Lots of bright colors. It's great. It's an awesome game. I love that game. It's a good one. It's a good one to play. You should definitely check that one out too. But yeah, as I said, it's from Cameroon, so it's not really Jamaican. But you get the African culture and the colors and the vibrancy, and some of the terms and words cross over through culture, through into Jamaican culture because of the transatlantic slave trade, from West Africa to the Caribbean. So we get that little vibe of that game, but it's not a Jamaican game per se. So yeah, Orion Legacy of Coriodan is definitely a game you guys should definitely check out. It's a lot of fun. It's a good action RPG game. So check it out. Definitely check it out. So, before I move on to more recent depictions, I gotta give a shout out to the game Shadow Man that had voodoo, a lot of voodoo in it. It was on the N64. It's the first game actually that I actually tested when I became a QA engineer, and I worked at Acclaim Entertainment in New York. We trained on Shadow Man. And yes, I can give a special shout out to Shadow Man and his voodoo powers. That game was based on a comic. Took the source material very seriously, and it wasn't a jokey game. So big ups to Shadow Man. And I have to say that from another older game, we are now as Jamaicans, we are claiming Professor K from Jet Set Radio. He doesn't have a nationality, so we are giving one. We are taking him to Jamaica, and him ours. He's ours. Nobody come ask for him back. Professor K, a Jamaican now. so yeah, that's what we're doing. And I'm losing my train of thought. But yeah, so more recent depictions. Like let's talk about the depiction of the Voodoo Boys from Cyberpunk 2020, the tabletop game. The Voodoo Boys in that game were white, and they spoke with a fake accent. Very offensive to me in that it's like some white dudes talking like Jamaicans. Like I've been harassed at previous companies where I worked, like, and it's, I've had enough of that in my lifetime. I don't need that in a video game. So that's why when CD Projekt Red announced that the Voodoo Boys were in Cyberpunk 2077 and Mike Pondsmith actually went back and changed them, I became instantly hyped because now the Voodoo Boys are West Indian. I don't know if they're specifically Haitian, but they are West Indian. And, it makes a lot more sense because in Voodoo culture, it's a lot of communicating with the other world. You speak to the other gods. And some of you may know names like Papa Legba, I'm not going to get into the depiction of Papa Legba on American Horror Story Coven, but Papa Legba opens the gate and you can talk to the spirits in the afterlife. And with voodoo, you kind of leave your body of a transcendental experience, out of body experience where you see everything around you. You're floating out of your body. So it makes sense to have the voodoo boys like truly exist in the world of cyberpunk, where they go into the net, like it's an out of body experience in the net, and they're doing what they're doing, net running and stuff, as it's called in the cyberpunk mythology. Excuse me. And yeah, so I'm really excited to play Cyberpunk 2077 for the Voodoo Boys. I want to join them. I don't want to kill them. Mike Pondsmith, please don't let me down. CD Projekt Red, please don't let me down. I don't want to kill the Voodoo Boys. I want to join up with them and take over Night City. So yeah, these are just a few of the depictions I've wanted to speak about. But why am I doing this special? Well, it's because recently it became news. I was reading the Jamaica newspaper, and there's a video game coming out made by two Jamaican brothers, the Pennycook brothers, and it's called Street Boy. And in the game, you play a child named Arlington, whose parents were killed in a car accident, and he goes to live with his grandmother, and he's trying to find his way. Trying to find his way in life as a 13-year-old in his community. Has to be wary of an older boy, I guess you could say, 18-year-old. Trying to lure him into a criminal life. And it's a more true to life story of Jamaican experience. Because I'm sure you go to Jamaica, you meet plenty of people like that. Actually, I know people in Jamaica who have a similar story like this character has, and it's not just that. It's the fact that the game also takes place in Jamaica. It's very authentic. It's being made by, number one, it's being made by Jamaicans, the Pennycook brothers. And you see things like Jamaican products, like the food which you see on our shelves. Arlington at one scene is pushing a handcart. It's just, and it's in Portland, which is on the north. Here we go. I'm going to make a big mess of this now. Yes, northeast coast of Jamaica. So it's north of Kingston area, if you want a name that you probably heard of. It's a parish that's up there. Portland. Beautiful parish. So the game takes place around that little section of Jamaica. I don't know if it has anything out of it, but most likely not. It's probably just his little community the game is concerned with. But, it's nice to see an authentic approach being taken by actual developers in Jamaica to this. So why am I excited about that? Because around the time when Shenmue was released, I was like, man, they should just do a game in Jamaica where it's like, you're in Jamaica, I don't know what the game would be. I always thought it would be The Hard They Come, the game, because I don't know. I thought that would be pretty interesting for most people, It's a kind of a action type, film. And a lot of people would enjoy that. But yeah, so like I've always wanted to see an actual game take place in actual Jamaica that's treated with actual care and, intelligence, let's just say. Because we've had enough of the whole Steven Seagal depiction of Jamaicans in video games. There's more to Jamaica than just the lax, the ganja, and the reggae. There's a lot more, which is what this series has been about as well, Undeniably Jamaican. So, yeah, if you're interested in the game, you want to learn more, they have their website up online, and it's going to be linked, or it's on screen right now. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. Most likely it's on screen. They also have a Patreon, so if you like what you see, or you want them to, give them a couple $. Let's see if they can get the game released and to us to play. Check it out. Because full disclosure, I'm supporting the game. I'm not being paid by them. If anything, I'm paying them because I'm a patron. So, I just really hope that this game comes through because it looks like a real neat, authentic Jamaican experience, and it will be the first full, you could say the full first Jamaican experience in a video game. I mean, there's one video game I'm leaving out, and I don't want to talk about it. It's a mobile game, And it featured a certain musician that I'm sure most of you are familiar with. Maybe not the game, but the musician, of course. And yeah, it's just, yeah, we're not going to talk about that game at all. Let's just leave that one in the dustbin, shall we? But yeah, so Street Boy, I'm looking forward to seeing more from this game. You guys are interested, check out their website. Check out their Patreon. Throw them a couple dollars if you can afford it. And let's see what happens with it. And so yeah, maybe I'm going to do some more of these Undeniably Jamaican special shorts, podcasts type things. I don't know. But as for this one's about over. So as I said, I'm Richard Ollie Vaughn. Guys, just keep it positive out there. Check out Street Boy the video game. Let me know if I missed any other Jamaicans from video games that you play. Maybe I missed some that I haven't played. Because these are games that I've played. Or seen like GTA 4. Because I don't play GTA no more. But anyway, this is Rich Ollie Vaughn, guys. Keep it positive and whatever in everything you do. And yeah, you know how we end these videos. Peace.